You know, this morning I had the opportunity to walk into a Office Depot. I don't know if you have Office Depot in your area, but you know, they supply office material, school material, things like that. And in this large store, there was only 2 people working in there. And they had to make excuses as to why they couldn't meet my need on a product I came there to pick up. I'd ordered it yesterday, it was supposed to be ready today, and they didn't have it. And I was a little bit, initially I was upset and I was ready to go in on them. But then when the manager explained to me that it was only her and one other person, and explained that she's just having a hard time getting people to come to work, I really softened up because I'm experiencing one of the same things, that same situation with my businesses. And I wanted to ask you guys a question. And so the question to you guys, if you're a business owner or a manager, are you having a hard time getting staff to come to work or the ability to hire people? I often, or my wife, we set up interviews. Sometimes we set up as many as 10, 15 interviews, and people are scheduled to show up. And out of 10 people, typically 1 or 2 actually show up for the interview. I don't know what kind of world we're in right now, but I'm concerned. A lot of people say it's the culture, it's the Gen Xers or the Gen Zers or whatever, that group is. They want to blame it on that. But I don't know if that's the answer. I don't know if people now have the dedication to work, dedication to their future, the financial, growth, the things that they need to do to progress and have good things in life. I don't know if people are, convicted to that. So what I wanted to talk to you about today is something that I try and apply in my own business, hoping that it's going to help you. I use the initial CRE, which represents, the C represents connect. In the workplace, whether you're managing people or you're the business owner, you must be able to connect with people. It's a human characteristics. It's a human need to want to connect with others. And that's what our staff needs. They need to know that they matter. They need to know that you see them. It doesn't matter, who you are, what level. You could be the owner and the person, they're the janitor of the building or, the lowest on the, scale. It doesn't matter. Everyone needs to be recognized. Everyone needs to know that they matter. They make a difference. On top of people want to socialize. People want to, actually have a conversation. People want to be social. They want to know that he or she matters. They want to know that you're genuine. When you say, hello, how are you doing? How was your weekend? How was your children? They want to know that you really care about them. And I say this because in this culture, when people seem to not want to work, you're going to have to find some type of edge. Our government in the last few years, they have, got involved in the capitalistic system where they're telling small businesses, how much they should pay for payroll and what labor costs should be. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I believe in supply and demand, even when it comes to labor. It just keeps our capitalistic system working, but that's my personal thought. But in this culture, if you're going to, continue to hold staff, then you're going to have to, one of the things you're going to have to do is to connect. You have to find out what's happening in their life. The second part of that was C. The R stands for retain. You have to be intentional about retaining your staff. Just like our customers, when you get a customer, you want to keep a customer. Actually, this applies to not only staff, but it also applies to your customers. When you get a staff or you get a customer, you want to keep them because it actually costs a lot of money to invest in marketing to get new customers or new staff. And even worse with staff, when you hire new staff and you put time and money into training them and 2 months, 3 months down the road, they leave you. Well, all that training is in vain. You've spent that money, you've spent that time, and now they're gone. Now someone else new has to fill that position, and now you're gonna have to start all over. The other side of that, which is probably even more important, every business should be working on its culture. You should have a culture that is going to magnetize, it's going to pull people in, pull customers in if you want your business to grow. But if you continuously, you hire people, you train them, you teach them the culture, they start adopting it, and a month or two later they're gone, your culture is what I call a leaking culture. Your culture is leaking. It's walking out of a door. You're bringing someone new in. They don't treat customers the way that you would want them to treat them, or they don't create the product the way that you would want to create that product. So you want to retain your customers and you want to retain your staff so that your culture will develop momentum. It will become what you want it to become. When I talk about culture, I always think about, and I mention this in a lot of my videos, I often talk about Chick-fil-A. They have developed a culture of appreciation. So whatever your culture, it may not be appreciation, it may be a culture of, the best product or, whatever it is, but that's what you want to do. You want to create that culture and you want to maintain it. And the only way you're going to maintain it is by retaining those trained staff. That's important. I have a system where I grade my staff. Every staff member is graded either A, B, C, or D. A being the top of the list. They are the best. B is right behind them. Well, the D's, I work on improving them, but if they don't improve in those areas that's important, they will eventually have to move on to something else, because I want my culture to be the A quality, the A people, the A customers. That is what I want. Just a thought. I hope that'll help you. And the last letter is the letter E. So we have CRE, connect, retain, and the last one is to educate. When you bring staff in, you want to educate them as to how you do things and how to better serve your customer, how to better create your product. Whatever it is that you're presenting to consumers, you want it to be the best. So you need to educate them. And the thing about people, everyone wants to be better. Everybody wants to grow. And when you put time and energy into people, when you invest in their education, helping them to become better, they're appreciative. They feel good about themselves. They feel good about the work environment. So the letters is CRE, connect, retain, and educate. And actually all three of these items can work for not only your staff, but for your customers. Connect with your customers, retain them, and educate them as to what service you provide and how you can make their life better. CRE. Write that down and hang on to it. All right. I hope you're going to have raving fans when you institute this. Raving fans. You want your staff members and your customers to be raving fans of your business. All right. If you like this information, please like, subscribe, and share. Be blessed.